But it is a private building with privatized information.
It's a publicly accessible building run by the government.
A private building.
So are you telling me that I will be trespassed if I attempt to film in here? Or that
Our boss said you can't film in here,
so what are the repercussions if I do?
you'd be out of the video.
And my lawyer says it would be illegal to prevent me from filming within the publicly accessible.
Your lawyer doesn't have a jurisdiction or say what goes on in this building, so that really doesn't matter.
My lawyer knows the law when it comes to charter rights, though. And I'm running a story on the Coquitlam RCMP, so this is freedom of the press, coming into the building.
Do you have an ID as a journalist?
And that's the whole purpose of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, granting us freedom of expression, which includes freedom of press.
Right.
Your access is allowed in the building as a member of the public.
Yeah.
But we reserve the right to revoke that access because it is still a private building.
I would appreciate it if you revoked my access. So can I start filming and have you do that then, so I can take that to my lawyer and we can begin legal action? Are there any laws that prevent people from recording within a police department?
Yeah, you're not allowed. There's signs up straight up when you walk in the front counter. There's signs saying there's no recording allowed.
Right. I know that there's signs up, but I spoke with a lawyer who said that legally we have a right to record people.
So the police would ask you to leave. No, they're not allowed.
So would that be a trespass warning in that case?
It would be a few things. So, I mean, it depends up to the officer, but it's made quite clear that you're not allowed to do that.
This doesn't follow the rules of your typical audit video because it was never my intention to have this be an audit video. I was just at the Coquitlam RCMP detachment to get some B-roll footage for a different story that I'm working on about the department. But because of the sign that I saw when I came in, because of the way that I was treated, it just turned into a bit of an audit video. So maybe this is your thing, and if it is, I hope you enjoy. Hi there. I just had a couple questions. Would you be a good person to ask here? So, first I was just wondering about the sign that you have out front here that says no audio and video recording. So I spoke with a lawyer because I wanted to do a story on the Coquitlam RCMP, and they said that it's perfectly legal to audio and video record within any RCMP detachment in Canada. So I'm wondering if there's a law associated with that or not, and if it would be all right if I just video recorded a few pieces of people. Sorry?
Who are you going to be video recording?
Just the area, not anyone in particular.
Just in the area?
Yeah, exactly. Just the publicly accessible lobby.
Yeah, so that's fine. But if you're going to video record us here, you would need to have to give us consent to release our identity.
Oh, okay. And do you know what law is associated with that?
My premises.
Right, but I mean, like, what would be the law that would prevent you from filming a public employee?
I'm a city employee. I don't work for the RCMP.
No, I know, but like as a city employee, you're also a public employee. So we have a right to record public employees in the course of their duty. So I'm just wondering if there's a law associated with what you're saying, that we can't record individuals who are working?
Well, this is more of it's a business, right? So
Well, it's a public office and public employees, right?
the reason why those are out there is to protect people's privacy. And we can...
Right. But so I guess maybe I should frame this another way. If I were to record in here without consent, what would be the repercussions?
You could open up yourself to a liability civilly.
A civil, so like you would sue me if I did that? Okay, interesting. So do you mind if I capture footage that doesn't include you in that case?
Pardon?
Can I capture some footage that doesn't include you in that case?
You have to ask the officers. Sure. I'll call an officer for you.
Okay, that would be great. Wonderful, thank you. Hi there, how are you doing?
Good. I understand you want to film something?
Right, exactly. Can I just get your name first?
Yeah, it's Constable Van here.
Wonderful, thank you. Nice to meet you. I'm Nicola. So I'm working on a story about the Coquitlam RCMP.
Okay.
And I consulted a lawyer before coming here, and she said I have absolutely the legal right to record within any police detachment in Canada. But when I came in, I noticed that you have a sign here that says that there's no audio and video recording. So I'm wondering what's backing that up. Like, is there a law associated with that I need to talk to my lawyer about?
Private information, right, in a police detachment, and I'm sure you can understand we hold people's records and
So when I spoke with the lawyer, she said, as long as I'm in a publicly accessible area, I'm okay, because there would be no private information in a publicly accessible area.
Right.
So I'm just looking at, like, in the lobby here, if I can gather a little bit of video of the department. I'm gonna go outside and get some B-roll of, like, cars coming and going, signage out front, things like that. But I just,
If you're in a public place, then I don't see anything against that, like you said.
Right.
So,
Okay.
As long as it's not any restricted area, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have any problem with that.
okay, wonderful.
Are you going to be filming inside here? Because
Yeah, that would be-
as far as you can get.
Exactly, yeah, I wouldn't go past any of the doors or anything like
They'd all be
that.
locked anyways. So
Exactly.
If that's something that you see fit to do, then yeah, like your lawyer said, it's a publicly accessible place.
Yeah, okay, wonderful, appreciate it.
I would just request probably don't film people entering because we don't know what their rights are, whether they want to be filmed or not. Like they're
Yeah.
coming up to report problems in their lives. They
Yeah.
probably don't want to be featured, right? So if you
Yeah,
can,
I have no intention of
film
capturing
any
anyone
individuals
else.
or speaking people for us,
Yeah.
greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the lawyer said, like, you know, I'm legally allowed to, but I don't want to put people on camera who weren't consenting or anything like that, so I'm not going to do that anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that, and as long as you're not bothering anybody here, if you guys don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, so this person said that it might be a civil issue, and if I were to put him on camera, he might sue me.
Yeah,
But he is-
inside here, that's true. These people have rights too, right? So like,
Yeah.
you can't be filming anybody inside here. That's probably the reason for the notice.
Well, I wouldn't be able to film them inside of there, but I can film them from out here because this is a public area. So it'd be no different than if I were to stand out there and film through the window,
Yeah,
right?
that's true, right? So let me just quickly talk to my staff sergeant just to
Okay.
get clarification on this, because it is kind of a gray area. So like you got the sign there, but then your opinion, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Sure, and I'm happy to share the information the lawyer sent me as well, if that's
sure.
helpful.
Yeah, sure. I'll check with them and see what we got.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so I talked to my staff sergeant, and I spoke over with you. I'm not going to inside. The reason is this is still a private facility, it's still a private building that is open to the public. There's a difference, right? This isn't outside where you can come and go. This is a private facility. We have, closing times, we have business hours.
Well, that would be a restriction on time and
Sure, but
right?
just like going to, like, say, a public place, like you go to a grocery store and they refuse service,
Right.
they're refusing the right to have the inside videotape.
Right, except this isn't a private business, it's a public entity.
It's a public entity, yes, but it is a private building.
But it's publicly
with
accessible and
yes,
public
exactly.
entity, right?
It's access to the public.
Right, which is
We
what my
allow-
lawyer
We
had
allow
said.
the public entry,
Yeah.
but it is a private building with
But it's not
privatized
private.
information.
It's
That is what
publicly
my-
accessible building run by the
But a
government.
private building, therefore, we can
But it's
restrict
public access for a public entity. So my lawyer has covered that. She said, regardless of whether it's a private building that the RCMP leases from, or whether the RCMP owns the building, it's public access, it's a public entity, and I have a right to record it in any publicly accessible areas of that, which would include this lobby. And to the point about privacy, if you're outside of here filming through the glass, which is what I will do,
that would
if
be
you tell me
fine.
I can't film in
Yes,
here,
that would be
it's no different because I can see exactly the same thing, right? So that's the whole purpose of it. And any sensitive information wouldn't be out in public anyway, so I wouldn't have a risk of seeing that. As long as I'm not interfering with government operations, which would be physically impeding an officer or something along those lines, that would prevent me from being able to film in here. But according to my lawyer, I have every right to film in here. So are you telling me that I will be trespassed if I attempt to film in here, or that
Our
something else
boss
will
said you
happen?
can't film in there, so
So what are the repercussions if I do?
EBS.
Okay. So are you gonna trespass me then? Because I'm prepared to film in here to see what
You
happens.
can't film in here.
Right, but I'm prepared
That's what we're
to do it and see what happens, is what I'm saying. So are you going to
We would ask.
force
you
me to leave, or are you gonna ask me to leave?
We would ask you to leave.
And if I refuse?
Why would you want to do that? Out of curiosity, like what is this?
So the purpose is to test whether or not the Coquitlam RCMP is adherent to the law. And my lawyer says it would be illegal to prevent me from filming within the publicly
Your
accessible
lawyer
area.
doesn't have a jurisdiction or say what goes on in this building, so that really doesn't matter.
My lawyer knows the law when it comes to
And-
charter rights, though.
Well, then you can deal with your lawyer on that aspect, but
Right.
it doesn't dictate what goes on in the
No, I understand that, but I'm trying to set precedent here, right? So if you force me to leave, I can go and file a
So you go
lawsuit.
to every police building and film just
I
to see
live in
what happens?
Coquitlam, and I've had issues with
So
the
do
Coquitlam
I, so that's
RCMP,
why I'm
and I'm
curious.
running a story on the Coquitlam RCMP. So this is freedom of the press, coming into the building.
Do you
and
have
recording.
an ID as a journalist?
Absolutely. The charter. Yeah, absolutely. The charter provides me the freedom of press.
Can I see your ID, please?
No. Why would you need to see my ID?
If you're saying you're a journalist, you have ID.
Everyone in the country has the ability to be a journalist. That's what
So you're not really a journalist then?
I am a journalist.
Coming in as a public person that you want to come and photograph.
I have plenty of articles out, so I am a journalist. I
You're
just don't.
then you would have identification as being as such.
No, that's not. Who provides that?
Whoever it is that you're working for or whoever it is.
Do you know that when a media organization wants to get a press pass, they just go to a print shop and have them ordered? That's all that happens. So you just have to get one printed up by a print shop. There's actually no organization that dictates who can or can't be a journalist. And that's the whole purpose of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, granting us freedom of expression, which includes freedom of press.
Right.
Right.
So like I explained, your access can be revoked to this area, right?
Yeah, I mean,
If you start filming, that's something that you revoking your access to the building, which would be making you leave.
Sure.
It'd be trespassing.
Okay.
Because you're not complying with our direction to leave when we
Sure.
revoked your access.
Okay.
Right now, we're talking, having a conversation.
Sure.
Your access is allowed in the building as a member of the public.
Yeah.
But we reserve the right to revoke that access because it is still private.
I would appreciate it if you revoked my access. So can I start filming and have you do that then? So I can take that to my lawyer and we can begin legal action?
Okay, well, why don't you just wait 1 second, then I'll find out what you want to do. But
Yeah, we'll get the guy
I want to test it. That's
We'll
what I
get
want to do.
everybody that's in charge here to kind of weigh in on this, because
Sure.
honestly, I'm just as interested as you are in this right now. And I'm not trying to have any problems with you, but I
Yeah.
respect what our rules are in place and what you're trying to say too.
Yeah, and I don't want to find myself in a situation where, I'm being harassed by the police for filming, which is why I didn't come in with my camera on, right? But I do want to make sure that before I leave, I either get to film or I'm forced to leave. I'm not going to leave just because I'm asked to.
What is like the end goal
So-
in accomplishing this?
So the goal is, like I said, I'm trying to get footage from the building for my story that I'm working on. But now the story is looking like it might become whether or not the Coquitlam RCMP are adhering to Canadian law.
So you were initially doing a story about something.
Exactly. Yeah, so the story is not about whether or not I can film in here, but if I'm not allowed to film in here, then that's the story that might become that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just.
And I'm not planning on being here for very long either. I just want to get a few shots, B-rolls of the story.
basically, if you're going to film, do not film them.
Okay?
Because they have a right to privacy in here, right? Would you agree?
Not according to my lawyer.
Okay. Go ahead.
But I don't have any plans on. Can I also get your name as well?
Yeah, Phil.
Phil?
Anyways, he said it's okay, so.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Like we first talked about, right? These people come in with their private issues, right? Try not to.
Yeah, if people are giving info,
Right? They're giving information.
Yeah, I'll be
Numbers,
respectful of
addresses,
everyone.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I won't be here for very long. Just getting a few moves.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
Yeah, no, as long as you're not like, if they're worried about people coming in and they're like going to a doctor's office and someone's recording them, they're giving their information.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate your help. Thank you very
Nice
much. Nice to meet you too.
I was just wondering if the city has any kind of policy around recording within government buildings.
I don't know off the top of my head, to be quite honest.
The reason I'm asking is that I was just over at the RCMP detachment, and one of the employees said that if I was recording, he would sue me because it was a privacy violation. But then I had two officers come out and tell me it was okay to film in there. So
You know what? Check with bylaws.
okay,
I think they'd be able to best help you out with that because
Okay.
I truly don't know.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you very much. Hi there. I was just over at the RCMP building over here, and I was told that if I was recording any of the public employees who work there, that I could get sued by them for privacy violations. But I then had 2 RCMP officers come out and tell me it's totally fine to film in there as long as it's a publicly accessible area. So I'm just getting a little bit of mixed information, and I'm wondering, does the city have a policy around recording in public buildings?
Okay, let me see what department you should probably be speaking to.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there. So I caught kind of the second half, just like you're questioning about like anything formal or a policy for filming. No, if it was, like a production company, a business, something like that, doing like a larger production, I would direct you towards like our film permitting office.
Yeah.
That way, but it's not something, just if that's not the case, then that's not the case, and there's nothing
Right.
formal than that.
Yeah.
Enforced right now, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And I think maybe some of the confusion came from, there's a sign over there that says no audio or video recording.
Okay.
Which I spoke with the lawyer before coming because I'm working on a story about the RCMP over there.
Okay.
And she said you're totally fine to record as long as it's in the public areas of that office.
Yeah.
But the employee there was saying, no, you can't do that. And then I had 2 officers come out and they seemed confused around whether or not I could. And they were saying, well, we might trespass you, we might not. So
Okay.
I'm just thinking the sign's creating a lot of confusion, and maybe
Okay.
the city wants to come up with something that's a little bit more like exact about what is and what isn't allowed.
Okay, well, I can take that feedback back to management. There's not much, truthfully, there's really not much I can do right now.
Yeah, I
About
figured
that.
as much, yeah.
yeah, but I can take that feedback. And like I said, if it was, formal film production, a movie, something like that, then yeah, we do have our film permitting office.
Right.
And we have that channel to direct you, but
Yeah, this is just for a small little story on the departments.
no. So I can take that feedback back regarding the sign.
Wonderful.
And kind of go from there.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Have a good day. Thanks.